On July 27th, 2022, the RAP Act was introduced to Congress. The Act RAP, standing for Restoring Artistic Protections Act's hope is to ban lyrics being used as evidence in legal claims. It hasn't been passed quite yet, but the fact it's even been introduced says a lot. Rappers just don't care. It's a genre heavily reliant on a code, but many will cross it on themselves 1,000 times before they even think about ratting someone else out. Hi, I'm PJ, and today I'd like to discuss an interesting phenomenon of rappers who have snitched on themselves. 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine has an extensive criminal record, but along with his own rap lyrics, he also ratted out his entire gang, the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. He pled guilty to racketeering after being arrested in 2018 along with his gang and originally charged with racketeering, carrying a firearm, assault with a dangerous weapon, and conspiracy murder charges. If you don't already know, racketeering is defined as dishonest and fraudulent business dealings, like for example getting money through murder or selling drugs. Anyways, he snitched because his original sentence was for an upward of life and a minimum of 47 years, but after talking to the court, he only faced 2 years in total and got out in 2020. Anthony Ellison and Al-Jeremiah Mack were both convicted after 6ix9ine gave information to the court. Sorry if I pronounced any of those names wrong. Although 6ix9ine clearly snitched on more people than just himself, in his plea alone, some of the names I found off Google are Jim Jones, Mel Matrix, and his former manager, Kifano Shoddy Jordan, but nevertheless, he definitely snitched on himself. For one, he pled guilty, which I'm not saying is smart or not smart, that's completely up to him, but that's kind of self-snitch. Number two, one of his prior charges, which I'm not sure if it was relating to this case or not, but Jane Doe, one of the people who was in his music videos a while back, claimed she was only 13, and he uploaded that to his channel, so that's kind of self-snitch. There's a bunch more legal drama with 6ix9ine, and I'm not going to get into nearly all of it, but rest assured, he is a snitch, and from the stuff he's posted on his own channels and social medias and said on everywhere, podcasts, in the court, whatever, he snitched, especially on himself.
And you listed racketeering as one of the crimes to which you pleaded guilty. Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The 9 Trey Bloods. 9 Trey Blood.
Approximately when did you become a member?
Around, I would say November of 2017.
What sorts of things did 9 Trey members do?
I'm sorry?
What sorts of things did 9 Trey members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes, robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9 Trey when you were a member?
Yes.
Who do you recognize? And if you can identify that person, could you identify where they're sitting in an article of clothing that that person may be wearing?
Anthony Ellison has a gray suit on. Nuke, Al-Jeremiah Mack has the brown suit on.
YNW Melly. Murder on My Mind? Sound familiar? YNW Melly literally made a song about how he killed someone, but still is pleading not guilty. Last year, I made a video covering this along with the YSL situation, so if you're interested in what's going on with Gunna or Young Thug, then check that out, but here's the YNW Melly case.
His full name is Jamal Maurice Demons. He was born on May 1st, 1999. You might know him from his songs Suicidal, Murder on My Mind, or Mixed Personalities with Kanye West. Since a young age, he's been in a ton of trouble with the law. In 2015, when he was only 16 years old, he was arrested for shooting near a school.
That shit was on the news, like I was shooting at the school.
Another follow-up, a teenager has been arrested in Vero Beach after he fired shots near Vero Beach High School.
Yeah, I had went to jail for the school shooting thing I did.
School shooting thing?
Yeah, I was shooting by the school.
Luckily, from what I've seen, nobody was hurt, but he was hit with 4 charges, 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, and 1 for discharging a firearm in public. He was only in jail for 1 year at this time, but that's when he wrote Murder on My Mind. He He was arrested again, though, in 2018 because of gun and drug charges with crew member YNW Melly. Apparently they had 20 grams of weed and a weapon. Again, he was arrested in 2019 for drug charges. And finally, the situation we all care about, in 2019, he was arrested for the first-degree murder of YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. From what I've read online, the murder occurred on October 21st, 2018. He wasn't alone facing these charges, though, because YNW Melly was also involved in the case, but because YNW Melly is believed to be the trigger man, and because of the bullet trajectory, blah, 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 Melly is on house arrest while Melly is still stuck in prison. Apparently, the murder was staged as a drive-by, and after it was completed, Melly left, and Melly took the victims to the hospital. It seems like there was a ton of evidence against Melly, like incriminating texts, bullet trajectory. They also have his DNA on the scene, but I don't think that really means anything because I'm pretty sure it was his car. And the weapon used isn't found yet, so that could be good for Melly's case. Whew. Can't talk, sorry. It's also kind of confusing because I thought he turned himself in from what I've heard, but he's pleading not guilty, so I don't know. The trial is supposed to occur on April 20th, 2022, but it's expected to be delayed.
Now, it seems like the case hasn't really made as much progress as you might think. Seems pretty clear-cut, but I guess not. The case keeps getting pushed back and new information keeps surfacing. Like, a lot of new information. For one, apparently he authorized a hit on his mother, according to the prosecutors. There's also new stuff about this case, like YNW Melly audio clips and a supposed confession, but that one's not very clear. Along with all of this, there's a ton of false information and accusations about the case and upcoming trial going around, but something that might be true is the death sentence. We don't really know if that's on or off the table, but there's more. They aren't allowing him to meet with his attorney privately, so if you haven't already guessed, the trial hasn't happened yet. And I'm not going to defend him at all, but in America, it's innocent till proven guilty, so come on, let the man meet with his attorney. And it seems like from the outside, most everyone's against him except for some rappers, rap fans, and his family. Yeah, even his mom. She said she doesn't believe or trust what people are saying about Melly, but in the end, even after the case is quote-unquote solved, we'll probably never know what really happened. We'll probably never know the truth. I love covering rap information and all that stuff, rap drama, all music type stuff. But at the end of the day, I try to make my videos more polished and clear cut. I know they're not perfect, but I'm trying over here. But if you want like live updates on what's going on, I highly recommend you either check out Blackie Speaks or Cuff Boys. Either one of them, they're great for like daily updates on whatever's going on in rap because they will keep you in the loop. But moving on. Bobby Shmurda. I wasn't as educated on this situation prior to doing my research as much as any of the other people I've covered, but this one seems pretty basic. He had a criminal history prior to his fame, but for the sake of the video, those details aren't too vital. However, after he blew up from his song Hot People, he went to jail along with his group GS9, who Bobby calls a rap group, but the law enforcement considers a gang, for many charges ranging from conspiracy to commit murder to reckless endangerment and murders. They got charged with many things, and one of the members was actually hit with 117 years in prison. As far as I can see, that's because many of the other members' charges involved drugs, but not Bobby's. GS9 was apparently under investigation for a long time before Bobby even blew up for drug and gun-related charges. He pled not guilty to court, and prior to his date was held on a $2 million bail and sat waiting for his court date to come around for 2 years. The reason I included him on this list is because even though it was denied by the Supreme Court, many wanted to use his lyrics against him. And even though they couldn't quite go to that extreme, I'm sure his lyrics did tip off the wrong people, which did lead to his eventual 7-year sentence. 7 years isn't all that much compared to 117, but it's still a decent amount of time in the long run. The reason it's so low compared to his counterparts is because he ended up taking a plea deal. The deal was that if he pled guilty to 1 count of conspiracy and 1 of weapon possession, he would only be given 7 years with 5 probation. Because prior to this deal, he was likely looking at somewhere between 8 to 25 years in prison. He wasn't allowed to make any appeals to his sentence for the deal, but The 2 years he already served were credited back to him. Apparently, he actually took a worse deal so that his friend would be given less time, but then regretted it later in the court, saying, "I want to drop my plea," and that he was quote-unquote forced by his attorney to take the deal. He wasn't able to change anything though, because it was already too late. There's way more to this whole situation, like how his girlfriend was caught trying to sneak him a shank while he was in jail, or that he's been involved in multiple fights, but that's the gist of it, and I don't even know. He was released on February 23rd, 2021, and if you want to see what's going on with him and his career now, he seems to be pretty active all over social media. Yeah, also, maybe she tried to sneak him in a shank while he was in prison? Jail, prison, I don't know. I didn't look that far into it, but there's some crazy stuff going on with this case, so if you want to stay updated, I highly recommend you look up a video about it or something. I don't know. Tay-K. Okay, so I actually already made a video on this situation titled The Tay-K Situation, explained in 2 minutes, so here's
Let's
that.
speed run the Tay-K situation. Not doing it, but talking about it. His full name is Tamar Trayvon McIncray, but people call him Tay-K47. He was born on June 16, 2000 in Long Beach, California, and his father had a history of criminal activity because he was a stalker and sent to prison for that. Plus, he admitted to making threats towards his ex-wife Nicole Beverly in prison and failed to line up with his agreement to the judge, which landed him another 15 years to his already 20-year sentence. So he had about 35 years total. And during that time, Tay's mother and his sister went to Las Vegas when Tay was just 8 years old. In July of 2019, 19-year-old Tay-K was sentenced to 55 years in jail for the 2016 murder of 21-year-old Ethan Walker. It was apparently a botched home invasion with 7 people that occurred in Mansfield, Texas, which left Ethan Walker dead and Zachary Bellows shot but still alive. He pled not guilty to the capital murder but was handed an additional sentence of 30 years for 1 count of aggressive robbery and 2 13-year sentences for the other 2 counts of the crime. After the murder, he ran and wrote a song about it that you might have heard called The Race. Also while on the run, he was suspected to have run someone over in the fast food parking lot and then shot them dead. He was then obviously caught the same day the music video for The Race came out. The only reason why I see that Tay-K doesn't have life in prison seems to be that he wasn't the trigger man for either of these situations. Letharian Merritt was for the one for the home invasion, and Sean Robinson for the other one. Tay-K is saying that there's a good chance he could get out on bond.
A lot of people want to know about that and shit. A lot of people think it's over and shit. On hood, it's not my case on appeal right now, so that's looking good.
I don't know the validity of this argument, but I don't know. Tay-K really blew up from this, and prior to getting arrested, apparently he had 9 songs out on SoundCloud, which is kind of crazy.
You can call me lazy for using my old video, but I honestly think Past Me did a great job of summarizing his situation. Anyways, in more recent times, Tay-K's been all over social media complaining, specifically Twitter. I really just need one chance at adulthood. I bet if I was a little white kid, they wouldn't have given me no 55 years for a crime I was alleged to play the most insignificant role in when I was 16. They would have rightfully argued that my mind wasn't fully developed and gave me rehabilitation and a second first chance at adulthood. And one of my co-defendants was a white girl who was 16 just like me. They didn't certify her as an adult, but they certified me and Pimp as an adult. Pimp got 30, I got 55. She ended up getting 10 years of prohibition without no deal. That girl at home right now. There's more tweets, but I would say that these summarize the problem pretty well. And the comments point out what exactly the problem I'm talking about is. Yo, Tay-K, I love your music, bro, for real, but your sentence is your sentence. You've already been judged and found guilty of your crime. You need to accept your accountability for what you did. We miss you, Tay-K, but you're in the place where you truly belong. Tay-K, you get a break. You were on house arrest after the charge. You then fled, made a song mocking the process, also while on the run, proceeded to brutalize another man. That girl was a human trafficking victim. Not everything is about race. Do your time, sir. Now, let me just make it clear. There definitely is a huge problem with race in the justice system, but this is not a solid example. I'm pretty sure that girl didn't do the race, make a song mocking the law, or even get more charges while on the run. Sure, his music is catchy, but at the end of the day, he was involved in 2 murders, a home invasion, and beating up an innocent civilian.
Say, stop, I'm being robbed, help me. and that's the last thing I remember.
Arlington police say Pepe was assaulted and robbed. These are pictures of him just hours after the attack. He has bleeding on the brain, numerous scrapes and bruises, and 3 fractured ribs. He says he may have been dragged.
He did the crime, now he's doing the time. From what I found online, he'll be eligible for parole after like 26 and a half more years in January of 2047, but even then, that would only be around half of his total 55-year sentence. And by the way, not much has changed with his sentence or actual situation since I made that video, just more so his social media presence. But moving on. 21 Savage. Consider this one an honorable mention. It doesn't have much any traction or consequences behind it yet, but recently he joined the Clubhouse app and got into an argument with someone who I can only assume is gang affiliated in some way. While on this live voice chat, if you haven't heard of Clubhouse app, I believe it's kind of like Twitter Spaces, an audio-only live stream. Anyways,
He made threats, and even though it's obvious he was already in or has been part of a gang, he verified it.
Without that spanking shit. So stop playing.
All that shit sounds good.
Y'all ain't spanking nothing, nigga.
Yeah, man. That's the only thing y'all ever did. That's one nigga. All right, how many? Hey, look. All right, look. You would die. You would die, nigga. You would die.
the conversation began with an argument and ended with one too. The premise of it all seemed to be like, who's realer? It began with them screaming at each other about music and finished with each other screaming at each other about gang stuff. 21's main point the entire time about why the other dude wasn't real is that he's new to the lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. Both ways for sure.
Listen, bro, on some real shit, regardless of all this shit going on, like, shy fuck with me, new fuck me. Like, nigga fuck with me, nigga respect me. Like, fuck out of extra B shit, nigga respect me.
That's what I'm saying. It's certain niggas.
That's how y'all let it go, bro. Okay, bro. Y'all
Look. You just want to be the extra bullshit nigga, bro. It's only a couple niggas that's like that, bro. Everybody else just let it be what it is, gang. You the only one that do that, bro. You the only one speak on shit on the internet. You the only one be commenting on shit when niggas be dissing a nigga. Everybody else just let it be what it's gonna be. You know why? Cause we was locked in at a point in time. You ain't in the loop, nigga. That's why you act the way you act. Anybody who was locked in, bro, all the real niggas over there, hey, one thing about it. Hey, look. Alright, you right. We don't run the A. You right about that. Alright, you right about that. Alright, look. Alright, but check this out. At the end of the day, any real nigga on that side who a real stepper hate that we even got to that point, nigga. Them facts. Nigga, yes, I'm telling you, nigga, me included. You the only bitch ass nigga that act the way you act. You the only bitch ass nigga that act the way you act, gang. You the only nigga that act the way you act.
I ain't gonna cap, bro. I hate y'all doing this shit right here on Clubhouse,
try to keep shit down, nigga. You ain't no nigga who won't know. Oh, I'm on that. Catch him. You're not on that, bro. Stop.
But I'm saying, so why a nigga doing this? Check you, bro. Like, why?
Bro, I don't get no damn blue, nigga. You know I don't get no fuck, nigga. I'm standing up outside. I'm saying,
though, but we ain't doing it, though.
You been knowing me. How you met me?
Okay, bro, I know this.
How did you meet me on the bullshit? I've been on the bullshit, nigga, all my life, nigga.
Real shit.
You don't let a nigga on here say I'm a
Bro, fighting a nigga in the hood ain't bullshit, gang. Everybody fight in the hood, gang.
I'm not talking about no fight shit, nigga. I'm talking about whole shit. Nigga, it's a lot of niggas that go out bad in the hood, get their ass beat, get their ass ran up out of there. Nigga, ain't no nigga ever tried me. Nigga, ain't never went out like no hoe. I ain't never.
That wasn't that type of hood. Niggas was getting money for real, bro. That wasn't no bullshit ass hood like that, gang. Niggas was getting money. Niggas was taking shit off. Niggas wasn't beating niggas out the hood and shit, nigga.
I went to the store for a nigga. I'm a Frankie. I want you to.
I just want you to know that you weren't in the mix. You weren't one of them niggas.
I wasn't in the mix yet.
To even be. So since you weren't in the mix yet, don't speak on none of our history with each other, cause you weren't around. You did. You just tried to say I wore nigga clothes. I came out there. I wasn't in my vet when I came out there. You saying all this shit cause you weren't around like that. You don't know about it. The niggas who was around know about it. That's why your brother is telling the truth.
Look. Back then, listen. Back then, was he top 5? Was he top 5 from his hood back then?
That's not the truth, nigga.
Was he what?
Top 5.
No. What?
Meanwhile, the other dude's point was kind of unclear, but from the parts of the conversation I've heard, I'd say it was that 21 either isn't living what he's rapping, or he's just like a rap guy. And yes, I listened to way too much of this conversation than I'm proud to admit. People online seem to think there's gonna end badly for Savage in the court of law or maybe the streets, but I'm gonna be real, the only reason why I consider this an honorable mention is because I highly doubt anything will come from it. Yeah, it probably wasn't smart for him on his part to join the chat, but still, I'd consider this, I'd compare this to the Roddy Ricch situation when he joined the app. So let's talk about that. Roddy Ricch. He got into a heated argument with a Crip who was accusing him of not being the life he claimed.
You a nigga from the hood tearing another nigga now that's trying to help other niggas in the hood that you don't know nothing about this business. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, my nigga.
First and foremost, my nigga.
You can't speak on nothing you don't know shit about.
Bro.
Hey, Roddy, let him answer you. Nephew, let him answer you.
First and foremost, my nigga, Bird ain't got nothing to do with me. Cholo, that's the little homie, but he's not even equivalent in this conversation, my nigga. We talking about how.
Now, what about Lil Bowak? He got a lawyer?
What? I'm not Little Bowak, bro.
I'm saying, what about Lil Bowak? You talking about, you saying I done got on so far. I'm false flagging. Nigga, I got put on my hood and I was over there. Every video until Antisocial was in the hood. The label, Julie Greenwald, called us and told us we doing too much in Compton. Nigga, we gotta go and do videos everywhere else, nigga. That's what happened, nigga.
Cap, bro. That's cap. Niggas know what the deal is, bro.
Julie Greenwald, nigga. Whack
that go like that.
These is billionaires and millionaires that you don't know about. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
We ain't talking about no internet. We ain't talking about no motherfucking industry shit. We were talking about real street shit, my nigga.
Listen. I done made $20 million in a year. You think I'm about to be posted up with you, nigga?
Ain't nobody said you had to be posted up with me,
what
nigga.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Niggas know what I'm talking about, homie.
Yeah, listen. Wait. Hey, Roddy, she said that you shut down on Bird. So Bird's still with you?
Bird is still with me to this day. I just got off the phone with him, champ.
Okay, so Bird's still with you. Wait, let's just clear it up.
He
Roddy said he got put on. Wait.
Himself, champ.
Wait. Roddy said he got.
Nothing seemed to have ever really come from this entire situation except from some social media posts and publicity, but I would still advise anyone to just stay off the Clubhouse app. Nothing positive seems to be coming from over there as far as I can see. Let me know what you think. Rappers who snitched on themselves. A lot of these people, if it wasn't for that rap act, this list would probably be crazy high in the near future. But even with that new act being passed or it's in the law, I don't know if it's gonna get passed or not, whatever, but it's in the process of, trying to get passed. But it seems like the courts weren't even allowing those lyrics to be used. But in the same way, a lot of rappers are tipping people off by their lyrics, and then they're like, okay, we'll do other research, but that was like a starting point, their lyrics, even though they can't use it. It was, So I would consider, a lot of people who rap about that stuff, I would consider them snitching on themselves, but I don't know. I really hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, whatever you want. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and thanks for watching. Remember, don't use Clubhouse.